Welcome back to the channel. This week we're testing out the 2025 Mercedes AMG CLE 53. This is a direct competitor to the BMW M440i. And you know what? Right off the bat, I gotta tell you, looks-wise, at least exterior, this thing looks a whole lot better. Now, I know a few people won't be a fan of the back. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, but I think it is really, really cool looking nonetheless. You've got the quad exhaust back there as well. Really big tires, all-wheel steering. You can see it's a bit cold. Also, it's a white Mercedes in the dirty streets of Montreal. It's gonna be a challenge to keep it clean, but we're gonna do our best this week and show you absolutely everything there is to show you, because my God, this car is a looker, and I'm really excited for you to see it all. So let's hop in first, and I'll give you my first impressions. Okay, so first time, technically second time on the road now since I picked up this wonderful Mercedes. One of the best designed Mercedes I have seen in a very, very long time. It's a little bit wet on the roads right now, so the car's extremely dirty already. I picked it up spotless clean, and of course the Montreal roads have been nothing but disgusting to this vehicle. And I'm also very, very low to the floor, so despite me having it in comfort, I still am gonna bounce around a little bit, and I'm gonna collect basically all of the dirt that is available to the vehicle. But other than that, this is gonna be a really fun week, because this thing is an extremely quick Mercedes. It feels more of like a truer AMG than I've ever driven. I think I'm getting closer and closer to that, AMG 63 that everybody talks about and loves so much, and I, of course, do myself. So I feel like, every time I drive these vehicles, I just get closer and closer. But this thing is just a first impression is, oh boy, hold on to your hat, because it can absolutely fly around. It flies around corners, it flies around straights. It just flies around. I mean, it is just ridiculous. I love the feel of the steering wheel. I love the handling. I feel like I've missed this like sports car feeling since I drove the R75 or the R-Type, or is it the R-Type? Something like that. It was the F-Type. What am I saying? The Jaguar F-Type. That is the last time that I felt like, oh, this is a true sports car. I don't have a V8, but maybe Mercedes will add one in the future. But honestly, do I feel like I need a V8? Not really. Not really at all, honestly. I think, I think this amount of speed is good enough for anybody. That'll jolt your head forward. That'll wake you up in the morning. Hello. Got a bit of a dry patch there. I decided to rip it, because why not? Yeah, so, I mean, this'll really light up, the heart of any true just driving enthusiasts in general. I'm having a great time ripping this thing around town so far. Really hadn't driven it too much yet today, so this is kind of my second real experience on the road with it, and oh my goodness, what a time. I don't know. I don't feel like obviously a V8 would be fun. It's always gonna be fun to have a V8, but do you need one? Can you still have fun without one? Absolutely, yes, you can. This car is living proof of just that. It just gets even crazier. If they ever add a V8 into this platform, it just gets mind-blowingly crazy. It's already really good and really solid for the money. And, so far, I tend to lean towards more something like this than the M440i. But yeah, I'm going to test everything this week. I'm going to show you the interior, exterior, trunk space, engine. We're even going to try to fit my baby back there. I got the car seat in there right now. I don't know if the shot is showing it, but it's in here right now, and we'll be able to hopefully see if she fits and how easy that is to get her in and out and stuff like that. So we'll see how all of that goes as we go through the week here. So I'll pick it back up in just a little bit here, and through the power of editing, it'll be in a couple of seconds, and we'll head on to the next segment. Let's get the week going. Okay, so the Mercedes has a weird thing, and it can actually humble me. So basically, it can adjust the seat position to your height. So let's go into it. So seat, then you want to go into automatic seat positioning, right? And I'm going to do it in inches. Right now it's set to 6'1". I'm not 6'1". I am, in fact, 5'11", believe it or not. That's it. So now I'm going to start the positioning and watch what it's going to do to me. So here we go. First of all, it does that, which is way too far back, and then now I'm going way too close, and now I'm going up. This is not comfortable in the slightest. So I guess according to Mercedes, I'm like 6'2". Let's see if we go back here. That's slightly better, but I still feel like I'm still too high. But anyways, I guess I've been humbled, maybe. And that's the driving position I should be in the whole time. If I'm 5'2", that doesn't make a lot of sense, but there you go. If you want to do it based on height and get humbled, try it for yourself. A tough car to keep clean during the winter, or just at the end of the winter, as you'll see, because you're basically just driving through mud the entire time. But don't worry, we will show it to you when it's absolutely spotless. This is just kind of the week with. This is the reality of driving this every single day. I mean, you're not going to be able to keep it clean every single day. But one thing that stood out to me is these tires are just phenomenal with these brake calipers that are red and everything. The accents are really nice. I mean, I believe that this vent right here is not real, but still, the whole thing is super nice. Let's check out the trunk space. This is one thing you haven't seen yet. So trunk space, it fits all of my stuff. You can see I've got floor storage as well. No problems there at all. It's automatic opening and closing, so it's very nice. But actually hop in. Let me show you the interior. All right, so now that we're actually sitting inside the CLE, you can see it's a coupe, and look, I managed to fit a full baby seat back there. Very cool. But you can see the kind of compromise that I've had to make with the passengers. So basically it's me and my child, or me and my wife, kind of not both, because that is not a lot of legroom there, but that's okay. You're greeted by the steering wheel, which is kind of the upgraded steering wheel with the Alcantara on the sides, as well as the leather, as well as we have some of the racing stuff, so I can flip through the different modes here of the car. Can go snow, individual, custom, sport, sport plus, and then race, which is extremely aggressive. I usually keep it in individual, and then these guys are configurable as well. You can choose which ones you want on, and you can click the side buttons to activate them. So for example, I can put my 3D camera on here. I can click it, and it will pull up kind of the 3D camera settings, as well as kind of like this really cool overhead view that I tend to enjoy quite a bit. And you can also turn it off. Same thing with the variable exhaust. Same thing as I've showed you in other Mercedes with this kind of controls here, phone controls, and also the ability to control the digital screen right here with just the steering wheel. And then we have our cruise control settings and the ability to control the digital gauge cluster. Now I do have paddle shifters as well, metallic, very heavy. The gear selector is right behind there. We have a nice amount of ambient lighting here as well, with this purple kind of trim here as well. I mean, you can change the color if you want. We have the Burmeister sound system as well, which is really nice. Really like these doors. These doors, though, are heavy. I mean, they might as well be bulletproof. They are extremely heavy. Also, we have the seat settings. It's kind of like a touch. You just kind of pull it. The button doesn't really move, or it doesn't really move that much anyways. And then we also have heated and ventilated seats with 3 sets of memory. Same thing for the passenger. The passenger and the driver's seat are also massaging seats, which is really, really nice. You can adjust the bolstering and everything. I really like this headrest with the AMG. You can get different colors too. You don't have to get black. Mine, the tester this week, just happens to come in black. Also, it's got one of these things where it'll kind of serve you the seatbelt. So I'll press the seatbelt feeder. You can see it come out, kind of like the M440i, which is this car's direct competition, so that's nice as well. Digital gauge cluster here as well. Let's close these messages here. I have like the same ton of themes that you have. You can also change the theme for your gauge or your heads-up display, which is right there. I kind of have the sport one on. You can have it a bunch of different ones. You can have the super sport, but I usually keep it on the classic, and you kind of control with these little touch slidey buttons. They work well enough, but if you're really trying to do something quickly, these buttons are not it for doing things quickly at all. I like the vents. I like these lights here. I mean, I just really like the interior because I'm looking at it as a coupe. I'm not necessarily evaluating on the fact that, it's a plus that I can fit my baby seat in here, but it's not my main thing, right? It's like how sporty it is, how cool it is, and, how easy it is to kind of live with in terms of a sports car. If you like physical buttons, you're not going to like this because, well, there's none. If I want to control the climate control, anything, it's all in here. I do have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, of course, built-in navigation on the home screen there. I can press this button here to bring up some controls. I can press that button for it's like, I guess it's a button, but it's like all one bar. It just kind of figures out where I want to push things. And then I can do the AMG button, which with this will allow me to customize some stuff. And then I can do setting select, and that is how you'll change what comes up here for quick access on the steering wheel, which is very interesting. I've got a ton of piano black, an ungodly and unnecessary amount of piano black, but you can option this with like a carbon fiber kind of thing. You can change up the trim here so it's not, you know, so easily scratched up. Underneath we have this thing you got to push pretty good. You got 2 cup holders, the standard stuff, a little bit of storage in here, as well as wireless charging pad, which keeps your phone nice and out of the way. Again, that is also ambient lit. In here, I do also have some storage there as well. Not too bad. And like I said, the passenger at this time doesn't have any kind of leg room, or too much leg room anyways, but that's okay because, you know, I really only drive with my baby. Typically, it's only on the weekends where we would take the car seat out. Also, this has some ambient lighting in here as well, which you can see, standard mirror, standard kind of vents here, which are circular, but overall, I really enjoy the design of this thing. It's nice and compact. Everything's reachable for the driver, especially because the passenger is not going to do very much in this beast. But yeah, I really, really like it. And like I said, it's a plus that it's big enough to fit my baby seat in the back seat. Would I spend a lot of time back there? No. Do I like doing it? I pretty much only have to do it for like 3 days, fit my child in there, so not too bad of a compromise. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do it full time for sure, but yeah, still really enjoyable. And yeah, maybe let's do some ripping around maybe. All right, so I'm leaving this parking lot now in the CLE 53, and oh yeah, like we're about the midweek now, and it's one of these weeks that I just don't want to end, because this car is just it's just, it makes me excited about vehicles again, you know, because I've done a stretch in the winter where it's kind of like, you know, the everyday traffic car, which by all means are not bad at all. But then you, like, you know, obviously I've driven the Range Rover, but then you get into something that's truly sporty and truly built to kind of do everything right? You can cruise around in comfort mode like I am, and the bumps are not too bad. I mean, the suspension's going to be a little bit more stiff because we are in a low to the ground sports car. There's only so much that dampers can do, but still, like, I'm still like super comfortable in here. And then when I want the power, it is absolutely there. And again, driving on public roads, this is overkill. Like, this is more power than I could ever want or need. And it's just wonderful to have this kind of experience at you know, in your hands all the time, because it's just as good to cruise as it is in sport mode. And it's not one of those vehicles where I feel like I have to be in sport mode all the time to enjoy it, because that's absolutely not the case. I feel like I have to have the loud exhaust on all the time to enjoy it, but that's about it. But that's just me, you know. I like to hear everything in the vehicle. Now, it's a 53, not a 63, so no V8, nothing like that. It's a 3-liter inline 6, I believe, with the hybrid assistant, so we're still well into the 400 horsepower. I think we're almost closing in on that 450 horsepower mark, which is ridiculous. But again, I just love the way this vehicle looks. And then you hop on the interior, it looks really cool too, and then you drive it and you feel cool and it sounds cool, and it's just an overall experience. And I'm telling you right now, like, I really, really enjoy the BMW M440i. I think it's a great vehicle, and it's very, very similar characteristically wise to the CLE 53 AMG. But the AMG styling wise, I can't. There's just nothing that looks like this to me, and that I like. This styling, interior and exterior, is right up my alley. The driving and the handling and the way that it delivers its power is also right up my alley. And there's a slight pain point where it's like, you know, it's a little bit of a boosty engine. It's hard to stay in that boost. I'll try to show you what I mean in a second here. I want to get through this little residential area into this little back road here, and we can kind of show you what I mean. Because don't get me wrong, this thing is an absolute little rocket of a thing, but like, sometimes I notice that it pulls harder than others in certain gears. It's weird what the transmission will do, so it's very interesting. But let's give it some rips here. Okay, in race mode, changes a lot. Yep. I have not done that very often because the roads have not been as dry as they are today. But my God, you put this thing in a race mode. Okay, I need a minute. Man, woo, okay. And that wasn't even the max that this car can do. I feel like I was maybe in the max pull that the engine can provide, but I'm definitely not in the max ranges of this vehicle, not even close. And I don't think owning this thing and driving it on public roads, you'll ever reach them. That's how ridiculous it is. Obviously in race mode, things stiffen up quite a bit. You're gonna feel every pothole and bump. So I wouldn't recommend trying to cruise in this thing, but if you wanna rip, let it downshift. Oh my God, just an absolute demon of a thing. Oh. I also really like the brake pedal response too, changes quite a lot. Like when you're in comfort mode, there's a bit more travel, and when you're in race mode, you kind of got to press on it quite hard to really, really stop, like to kind of slow down slightly. The brake pedal's loose, but when you really want to come to a full stop, yeah, you got to do it. Now, usually I drive around in individual mode, which I have my drivetrain in race, I have my suspension in comfort, and the dynamics are in advance. So it lets me play a little bit, right? And so that's the way that usually I'll daily drive it in. But 9 times out of 10, like if it's, nighttime and I just want to relax a little bit, but I love the ambiance of the car, the ambient lighting's fantastic, I'll throw it into comfort mode and just relax and listen to the music. Got a great sound system in here too. Like, this is such a good all-around sports car that you possibly could drive all year round. Now, I don't know if I was to own this thing, would I want it out in the winter? I don't even know if I would have taken it out yet if I owned it, but it crossed my desk and I just had to take it immediately. Like it was just a no-brainer thing. It was like, it's available this week. Do you want it? Absolutely. Sign me up. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had no idea what potential that this thing would hold for me. And I did not think it would beat the M440i because that set the bar really high for me, design-wise, what it was, what it could do, how it felt. But yep, for one, and this is one of the first times where I'm like, yeah, Mercedes have, for me, definitively come above, BMW. It's one of the first times it's happened. Usually, I am like, BMW has got it on lock, like nobody's gonna touch them, but Mercedes has come close and surpassed them this time. And I have no shame in saying that. This thing is really, really good. Oh, and then around the corner here, it just holds. It just holds, it holds, it holds. It waits for me. It waits for me, and it plays with me, and it does oh, man. It's heavy, though. I will say that. It is very heavy. Drives a bit heavier than the M440i. You do feel the heaviness. You do feel like the boatiness of it at times. It's a fucking speedboat, though. I'll say that. But yeah, you do kind of feel that, but that's okay. That is completely okay. I kind of like a heavy feeling vehicle. I don't know. It's definitely not like, it doesn't drive like a truck or anything, but still, like, you notice when you really try to push it and like send it into a corner or something, you approach the limit quite quickly because of the weight, I think. But other than that, like, you're just not going to be doing that daily driving. You're just not going to experience like the full limit of this engine. And I'm not saying don't buy it because of that. I'm saying absolutely buy it because of that, because I love cars like that, where it's like you pushed it a little bit further and further and further, and the car still can give more and more and more and more. So it's just more and more and more enjoyment. The more confident you get, things like that. Obviously, not my vehicle. Don't want to end up in a tree, and I'd like more Mercedes like this, so I want them to trust me. So I'm not going to wrap it around a tree, but I have been having fun within the limits, right? And I love that the vehicle can do that. So yeah, personally, this is one of my favorite Mercedes I've ever driven, possibly one of my favorite coupes that I've ever driven. Just the styling-wise has got me so good. I'm hooked. I just want to put a camping chair outside this thing. And if it was summer, believe me, I would be opening the garage door to this thing and just sitting in my garage, just witnessing it. That's it. That's all I would do. So yeah, I'll pick it back up a little bit later. Maybe we'll do some more exterior stuff to show you what I really mean, and we'll see what kind of footage we can get. This is going to be a long one. I think this might be a long video. You're gonna have to enjoy it with me. That's it. You have no choice. You're locked in now. If you made it this far, too bad. You're enjoying the entire thing with me. So I'll pick it back up a bit later in the week. All right, got the hood open finally with the CLE 53. Look at this. This is how an engine bay should look in a performance car. Compact. You can see the intakes. Nice engine cover. AMG badge, Mercedes badge. There is no doubt. You can also see the exhaust vent right here for the hood, and you can also see some cooling right up there, which is very cool. I do really, really like the way this thing looks. I love how, Mercedes has kind of assumed that owners are going to be looking at this engine, and others are also going to be looking at this engine, so it's something that, they put a little bit of effort into, and I love that, and I think it looks really cool. It's a pretty big engine, and it shows. It's got 443 horsepower, and the torque number is escaping my mind now, but I'll put it up on screen for those that need to know. It's also got the mild hybrid system on board here, so we're just fully immersed in this Mercedes AMG world here with this engine, and what an engine it is. I realize I haven't shown you guys a startup in a long time, so let's show you what it's like to start up the AMG CLE 53. Frameless windows, of course, and then we are going to hop in. It's not going to be a cold start because I drove here, obviously, but foot on the brake, and look, we have the auto start stop button. I can disable it right as I disable the engine. So foot on the brake. There we go. You can see all my screens on the bottom here load up. That loads up. That loads up very quickly. We'll put on the exhaust. We'll see if you could hear it. It's kind of loud traffic-wise. I don't know if you'll hear it too well. Not the loudest thing in the world. But yeah, I'm about to record some revving, so if I remember to put it in, I'll do it now. All right, so let's show you how you access the back seat. So you're gonna open the door here. There's a little pull tab on the seat. You pull that up and you push forwards, and the seat will automatically push itself out of the way, revealing just enough space to actually get into the back seat. So let's do that. Let's hop on in here. It's like a squish, so pardon the camera angle and part of the mic noises if there is any. So once you're in, it's pretty decent. I can actually pull this seat back right here. You'll see my driver profile will come right into me, which is going to be pretty squished. My knees are just touching it, but it's actually quite good. Actually, on the passenger side, there's literally no problem there. You could easily do it. That's how I managed to fit the baby seat in here. I'd have to push up the passenger seat quite a bit. But you got ambient lighting back here. You've also got the sound system back here as well. Very good. 2 cup holders, very nice. The vents, nice touch as well. And yeah, I mean, it's an overall like decently comfortable spot. And I like how the seats are kind of like bolstered a little bit too. So that way when the driver decides to rip it, you're not completely flying around in your seat. You're kind of good and secure. And there's just enough headroom as well back here. So yeah, pretty decent. I'm happy with this. All right, so back outside, possibly for the final time, because I really have it in a spot now that is just phenomenal looking. I mean, we're kind of in the forest, kind of in the mud too, so I'm going to try to wipe my shoes off before I get in there, or I'm going to drive this thing in my socks, because I'm not tracking mud into a vehicle that looks quite like this. I mean, this Mercedes is, you know, at this point of the week, I can say it hands down the best Mercedes that I've seen in a very, very long time. Those of you that think that, oh, it's, you know, Mercedes have lost their touch, it's too overpriced, whatever, I think that this one is an absolute steal and a half, right? I'm just trying to go to the back and the mud is getting worse here as I'm talking to you. But yeah, this thing is an absolute steal, an absolute rocket to drive. I love it so much. I think it is one of the coolest vehicles I've ever been in, just in general. I love the all-wheel steering, I love the horsepower, I love the look, I love the attention it gets. I love everything about it, and if you told me that if I just spent $80,000, I'd get something very similar to this spec, I would absolutely be on board should I had the cash in my wallet, and I think you guys will be too. So let me know what you think so far, and if this is the last time that I'm outside, then we'll cut right to the driving impressions. If not, there'll be more. All right, so unfortunately, last time on the road with the CLE 53, I hate it so much that this is the last time I'm really going to put up the camera this week with this thing, because I would keep it for 3 weeks. I'd keep it for a couple of years, honestly. It's been so fun to drive around, just to have the speed, and then you like I've been saying all week, you get that hint of luxury, but the styling looks, you know, like a true Mercedes AMG, and possibly the first true Mercedes AMG I've ever felt or even seen. So I just, man, it's just too good. Like, I know there's other AMGs out there, but I have not driven them yet. So this is like really the first one that I feel like I've truly got a grasp on what the true performance brand of Mercedes has got to offer. And I know it goes up from here, which is just crazy. I mean, yeah, so driving wise, it's very comfortable. Like, you can just cruise around like I'm doing right now, like I will be doing for the rest of the day, pretty much as I possibly can. Just cruising around before I drop it off early tomorrow morning. And yeah, it's very good at that. And then if you want a good burst of fun, a good burst of speed, if you've got drier roads, which I don't right now, the thing will hook up and absolutely pull. And it is just something so fun to use and to have, you know, at your disposal whenever you want. This would be such a great summer vehicle to have. I love it so much. And I've been talking about the price all week. Sure, $80,000 at the starting price is expensive, but considering the amount of stuff that you get just based off that is pretty good. And they probably could have priced it higher. I actually expected them to price this thing much higher, but they didn't. And obviously my as tested price is $103,000, but still, look, if I had that money to just go out and spend on a vehicle, this would be the one that I get. I would not even think about getting the M440i. It would be straight up for this Mercedes right here. Give it to me in this exact spec even. I'm fine with having it in white. It actually looks really good in white. It's hard to keep clean, that's the only thing, but it looks phenomenal in white, I'll tell you what. Oh, I'm gonna miss that. Oh, I'm gonna miss that. Oh, I think you're gonna miss hearing it. I really do. After you click away from this video, you might want to restart it so you can hear it again. Just saying, you know? Yeah, it's just been a good thing. I really don't have any big complaints. I mean, sure, the interior has no physical buttons. There are certain compromises that when the vehicle drives this good and feels this good, me personally anyways, I'm willing to make those compromises and just, you know, roll with it. So, yeah, I would still buy it. That's it. There's really not much else to say. It's a very, very good vehicle. I hope you've enjoyed everything, me showing it to you. I wish I could show you a lot more, but it's not how the cookie crumbles always. I don't have good roads or a second pair of hands. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this one. I'll see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.